Come meditate, come conversate for the victims murdered or missing. While they rest in peace, let's find our inner peace. Take out the enemy, look what you did to me. These cases are unsolved, so let's get involved to try to solve them all. Hey, y'all, it is Queen Key again, back with another episode of Meditation and Murder. So for those of you who are just now tuning in for the first time, I decided to do meditation and murder. I know it's a weird mixture, but I'm into murder investigations, unsolved murder, missing murders, unknown or unidentified victims. There are a lot of victims out here who are silenced, and there's no one fighting for justice, or their cases are silent. So you hear about them on the news that one week maybe, and then after that, when there's no results in the first 48 hours or that first week, then those cases are slowly just washed away. The only people who are continuing to fight for the justice is their family. So I decided to create this show to help with bringing awareness to these cases. I added the meditation in just so we can find our inner self, find our inner peace, and help meditate justice for these families. Help meditate justice for these families and peace for them as well. So it's a serious thing. Meditation helps with a lot of different things. So just being able to help bring them some kind of peace, and maybe if they're watching, they meditate to help try to keep them peace in their situation. So today I want to start, or every episode I'm going to start with a meditation fact, a random crime fact. We'll have your missing cases, murder cases, and then our unknown victim. So today's meditation fact is meditation sharpens your memory. So like we talked about last week, we talked about happiness. This week we're going to talk about how it sharpens or helps you stay sharp. Basically, when you meditate, you're creating you're concentrating for a long period of time. So that's forcing your brain to learn how to fight off different distractions to where you're not having to squirrel. Like a lot of us can sit and we're doing something for a couple minutes, but all it takes is one thing and we're thrown off of that. But because with meditation, you're forcing your body to just sit there and be one and think about one process the whole time, it's also training your brain to get used to that repetition of that task. So why not do it? It helps bring awareness, and it says it trains your brain in remaining aware to the present moment in a non-judgmental manner. So like I said, you're just sitting there concentrating on that one thought or that one positive thing. Positive things in, negative things out. Simple. So then I go to our hate crime today. So our fact for today is about hate crime statistics for 2020. So the facts are based off of about 18,000 cases. So about 61.9% of those crimes, or those hate crimes out of those 18 cases, were related to race or ancestry, so color. 20.5% of those were based off of sexual orientation, so whether that person gay, straight, 13.4% was based off of religion. 2.5% gender identity, 1% disability, disabled people, and then 0.7% gender, whether that's male or female. The gender identity is for, transgender ones confused, or ones who are portraying to be one thing, but they're actually another thing, would be the gender identity. And a hate crime is defined as a crime that is motivated by prejudice on the bias of race, religion, sexual orientations, or other grounds. So it's going to take us to our first victim today, missing. Her name is Lashaya Stein. She was last seen on July 15th, 2016 in Aurora, Colorado. She was 16 years old at the time of missing. She was last seen walking down Pereira Street and Mount View Boulevard at about 2:15 a.m. She left her home without her charger, her purse, or anything as far as her identity, and she left her window open, which means she had some intentions of returning home. She was an honors student, and she wanted to pursue nursing as her goal or her career. She's about 5'6". She weighed 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, and she had a quarter-size scar on her chest. She was seen, or they stated she had a friend that lived an older friend that lived where she was walking past. Recently, they did do a search of the home, and that did come back with no results. They searched the home for about 3 days, and that didn't lead any kind of suspects or any kind of evidence or anything like they expected. So if you have any information on where Lashaya Stein can be, where she was last seen, there has been so many different tips about how she's still alive. Um, they're saying that some people are spotted her seen in hotels, working with different males. So there could possibly be sex trafficking involved in her case. But if you know anything, any information, again, you would contact Aurora PD 303-627-3100 or Crime Stopper 720-913-7867. And this is a picture of Lashaya Stein as well. Again, she's 16 years old, last seen July 15th of 2016. So our next missing victims today are Liliana and Daniela Moreno. They went missing from Florida. She was the mom. This is a mom and a daughter. The mom is 43 years old. The daughter is 9 years old. They were last seen on May 30th, 2016 at a Home Depot off of Ichobe Road in Hialeah Gardens, Florida. It was a Home Depot parking lot. Now, her purse, her keys, her wallet, and her car was left at home. Her door is locked, meaning she did lock her door, but she didn't take nothing with her. She didn't even get in her own vehicle. So Daniela's father, Gustavo Castano, is a person of interest. He is the last person to see them alive. He told them that they were going, or he tells the police that he asked them to ride with him to Home Depot. They all got into an altercation, and then he put them out at the corner of it was the freeway and the Okeechobee Road. So he stated that he put them out right at the intersection of the two. Um, he said that when he put them out, the mother Lillian scratched him. He drove off, went to the warehouse where he worked, and decided he would give it a little bit. And when he decided to go back, no one was there. Now, here's where everything starts to get crazy. So, Gustavo is a married man. He does have a wife and kids. He did make it known to Liliana that he did not want his wife or kids to find out about Daniela, which is their daughter that they had together. So all of this was supposed to continue to be a secret affair. He stated that he did give her money um, before she before the altercation, before she jumped out the car. None of it's making sense to me. The police did pull his cell phone records. His cell phone records did ping at the warehouse. Now they did go for surveillance of the warehouse. Next to the warehouse is a business, but around the time that she went missing, the business was robbed, burglarized, and the only thing that was taken was the surveillance cameras, y'all. Nothing else was taken, just the cameras that was pointing at his warehouse. He was a suspect in the burglary. Like I stated, his phone did ping there at the time of the burglary, but no arrest. A few days after May 30th, after they had went missing, he was found in the parking lot of Home Depot, distressed, and he actually stabbed himself in the throat in the parking lot of Home Depot where they were last seen. If that's not a guilty conscience, then I don't know what else that can be at this point. Again, I guess there's not enough evidence leading up to arrest of him because they have not been found yet. I am hoping that they are still alive. Their family is working hard. there is a reward out if you do know anything, if you do have any evidence, any witnesses. I mean, for it to be broad daylight, somebody knows something. I believe it was around 7 p.m. they were last seen there. But again, for it to be a Home Depot parking lot, there's something. There's somebody knows something. So if you are aware of anything, you were a witness, you just happen to be at the same place at the same time, you've seen this, please contact 1-800 call FBI or 1-800-225-5324. So like I said, he did pick them up from the apartment. These are words from his mouth. He picked them up from the apartment. They had an altercation. She scratched his arm. He went to the warehouse in Medley, returned to no longer find them there. Why he didn't go back to the apartment to see if they were there, why he didn't pick up and call the phone or call her family, anything, no one knows. So if you know anything, please contact the FBI. All right, so that brings us to our murder victims today. So our first murder victim is, pictures. This is Liliana and Daniela Moreno. And then this is Gustavo Castino, which is one of the suspects. Again, he has not been charged with anything, but he's the father of the little girl. All right, so that takes us to our first murder victim. Her name is Maggie Long. And this is possibly a hate crime, which is why I did the hate crime statistics today. She was 17 years old, lived in Bailey, Colorado. She was found dead in her home after after a fire was reported around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So this happened on December 1st, 2017. She left school to change clothes. She had plans to return for an evening concert where she was supposed to be helping set up, helping with water, snacks, and all that stuff. It said that while she was home, she either walked in on the burglary or they broke in as soon as she got there. And she was attacked, and then they basically burned her alive. There was guns stolen from the home before it was set on fire. There was a Beretta handgun, a AK-47, about 2,000 rounds of ammunition, a green safe, and jade figurines. So definitely a targeted house, because who would know that these things were in this home? Um, Again, there were believed to be 3 suspects in this murder case, and some of them, they believe the first suspect could have possibly been injured in the fire, but one of them were injured in the fire, and they could have changed their appearance by now and relocated by now. There is a $20,000 reward for any information that's leaded to an arrest in this investigation. So if you have any information, please contact Aurora PD at 303-329-4243. Or if you want to remain anonymous, you can always call 1-800-225-5324. Again, this is Maggie Long. This is the first suspect out of 3. Suspect number 1, suspect number 2, and suspect number 3. If you know any of them or they look like someone you may know who may have been in the Colorado Bailey County area around that time, again, please contact the Aurora PD at 303-239-4343 or anonymous 1-800-225-5324. Next one would be Quincy Moore, a Milwaukee teen who was murdered on June 30th of 2020. She and a group of her friends were just walking, doing what teenagers do. It was about 10:28. They were seen at the 3400 block of North H Street, where some individuals pulled up, released fire, drove off. Again, this was between 8th and Keith, they were walking down the alley between those streets. She was found near a home, which has now been damaged due to a fire, so I didn't have any pictures of the home. And then the pictures that I did have of the crime scene were too, I felt like they were too dark to actually try to distinguish where it was if you did know. But like I said, she was found near her home that is now damaged due to fire. So her friends and her were walking. They heard gunfire. Their friends took off. They noticed that Qunyonce was not behind them. When they went back, they saw that she had been shot. They sat with her until the police came, and where she was pronounced dead on scene. Her mom has no answers. Her mom was not even made. Her mom, no one basically has contacted her mom to sit down and have that one-on-one conversation with her, letting her know that her daughter has, the situation with her daughter. Her daughter or Qunyonce did leave behind a 1-year-old child as well. If you have any information about the shooting that took place at 3400 block of North 8th Street, please contact Milwaukee FBI at 414-276-4684. Again, if you want to remain anonymous, that number is always 1-800-CALL FBI, 1-800-225-5324. Again, 3400 block of North 8th Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And here's a picture of Qunyonce. And now it brings us to our unidentified victim, Jane Doe in New Jersey. She was found dead in Elizabeth, New Jersey, June 11th of 2021. She is a Black female, estimated age of between 25 and 35 years old. She is a slender build, about 5'6", weighing from between 125 to 140 pounds. She had double piercing on both of her ears. She had no tattoos, and they believe she did wear she did wear wigs. If you have any information about this Jane Doe, contact Homicide Task Force for Elizabeth, New Jersey at 732-428-9412. And here are a couple of sketches of her face from when she was found. All right, guys. So, for those of you just tuning in for the first time, we do take a second to meditate. We meditate for about 2 minutes. But before we go into meditation, I just want to recap the victims. I will also play a video for those of you who are not able to see. You will be able to hear their names. But again, just to put their names out there for everybody again, we have Lashaya Stein, who was last seen on July 15th, 2016 from Aurora, Colorado. We have Lilian and Daniela Moreno, last seen in Hialeah Gardens, Florida. We then have the murder victims of Maggie Long, murdered in Bailey, Colorado, in her home. And then we have Quincy Moore, a Milwaukee teen, murdered on June 30th, 2020. And then we have our Jane Doe, New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey. If you have any information on her, you would contact the Homicide Task Force. And then we'll go into our video and then our meditation for 2 minutes. We'll come back and I'll dismiss you guys. This is Lashaya Stein, missing July 15th, 2016. This is Daniela and Liliana Moreno, missing on May 30th of 2016. In this picture is the suspect, Daniela's father, Gustavo. This is Maggie Long, murdered December 1st, 2017. One of the suspects. Second of 3 suspects. And the third suspect. This is Quincy Moore, June 30th of 2020. And this is Jane Doe, New Jersey, found June 11th, 2020. Hello, hello. So, thank you guys for meditating with me. I feel like I want to meditate one more time for the sake of the teenagers, you guys. This episode, everybody, one, two, three. So, four of the suspects were under the age of 18. We don't have to meditate again, but we just have to bring awareness to the things that are happening to our young victims. Like these kids are now silenced and they can no longer speak. They can no longer tell anything that happened. Like at this point, we have to be a voice for these victims. These kids can no longer speak. And these kids don't ask to be put here for the situations that they're put in, especially 9-year-old Daniela. Like the fact that she had to endure and go through whatever she's possibly going through right now, whether alive or not. I mean, she's missing at this point, and it's going on 5, 6 years, and still nothing. And it could possibly be her own father that's causing her this, causing her to be a victim at this point. So I just want to. This is why this matters to me. This is why I like doing this. This is why I like being a voice for them because they don't have a voice anymore. Her mother can't even have a voice anymore. It's like they're no longer here. I don't know how else to stress that to y'all. Like Lashaya Stein, 16, probably just wanted to sneak out and go do something, and now she's no longer here. Qunyonce, hanging with her friends and people doing who knows what, being stupid, and now she's no longer here. Maggie, all she was doing was going home to change for an event she was trying to get back to for school. And three people come in to decide to not only steal from her home, but burn her alive. Like, who asked for that? So that's that's why all these cases mean a lot to me. That's why this show means a lot to me, and I'm glad I'm able to have this platform and bring this here to y'all. And that's why I do the meditation, because I know if it grinds my gears hearing about this. It sometimes it puts me in a bad headspace because I can only imagine what they were thinking, the last things that they were thinking, the last things that they were feeling. Most people are calling for their mom. Like I can only imagine what they were going through. So that's why I add the meditation part of it, because if I'm imagining it, then I'm sure y'all can imagine it as well. So that's why I add the meditation part of it, just to reiterate my why on this. This is my why. These kids can no longer speak. So again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. If you know anything, please, please, please speak up because they can't anymore. Thank y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all's night, and I will see y'all again next Tuesday, same time.